Hi, this is me again, and I am doing part 3 of my blog about how I was in a emotionally abusive relationship with a narcissistic alcoholic. So for part 3, I am going to tell you about how the third time I got into a relationship with G. So this, I'm going to say, is probably going to be around October of 2008. So basically, I come over to G's house and I spend maybe like a week there. So this is right after I started working at the bakery. And he was like really rude because the whole time that I was there, he was just talking about how, and I've never had sex or anything like, that before. Like I said before, I met him and everything like that. I've only kissed like 2 people and I was really shy, like, even taking my clothes off in front of a guy. And, then basically, so anyway, in the fall of 2008, G calls me back again. And, this time, of course, I'm a little bit reluctant and everything. And then G was like, well, why would you not go out with me? And I said, well, you like to smoke, you like to drink, and you like to have one-night stands. All you do is just hang out in the bar all the time. And he says, quote unquote, blah, blah, blah. And then basically he talked me into getting back with a relationship with him. So I go over to his house and everything, okay, And so this is like right before I quit my job this is right around the time that I quit my job working at the bakery. And when the whole time that I was there, he was like absolutely ridiculously rude, and it kind of sounded to me that he might have been seeing Sherry the whole time that I was there. And basically she called when I was there and I said something to him out loud and he was just like really trying to hide the phone and stuff. And then he told me like a lot of really good things about Sherry and a lot of really good things about, or a lot of really good things about Sherry and a lot of really bad things about Sherry. So he basically said, and like I said, I hadn't had sex or anything or taken my clothes off in front of a guy or anything like that. And he basically told me, he goes, yeah, Sherry was pretty sexual. She did whatever I wanted her to do in bed. And he said that they went on a vacation and they had a threesome at a hotel. And then he and her would engage in making pornographic films and sexting and stuff like that. But he also said, like, a bunch of, like, bad things about her, too. He said that, like, one time she would drink, and obviously, like, I was only 18, 19 at the time. I was, I wasn't even old enough to drink, and I don't, like, to this day, I don't even drink. I think, obviously, since he had an alcohol problem, I think that's kind of dumb of her to be drinking around him. So, he said that they went to a cabin, they got drunk, and then he said that she cheated on him, and then he also told me stuff like how she would she purposely, because she was on the pill, so she purposely missed her birth control for a week and then had sex with him. And then he told me that she told him that she purposely got pregnant by him, but she had a miscarriage. And then anyway, so he told me a lot of good things and a lot of bad things about her. And then basically, he's obviously very moody and he's really hard to get along with. So to be honest with you, I don't even know why, but this time, the third time, again, it did not work between us. And Then after that, things got even really worse with Sherry. She left a really nasty, voice message like 2 in the morning on my phone, calling me a stupid bitch, and she was just like laughing at me and like all this stuff over the phone. Oh, and then before this, I kind of skipped over like one text message. Basically, I was at work, I was getting off work, and G texts me a really mean text message, and he's like, um, so what if it was your first time having sex? And he's like, I love Sherry and blah blah blah. Just told me that he loves Sherry. Oh, he says, I love Sherry. I should not have called you. And then after that, like I said, I get, the abusive voice message from Sherry calling me dumb and blah, 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 blah. And then, if things don't even get weirder between the three of us, her brother, who I kind of know, like I added him on MySpace, but I didn't really know him that well because he graduated school like around the time that I got there, and I ate lunch with her brother a couple times. And then he went off and joined the military, and he was in Iraq. I think he was in Iraq. That must be why, because he was in Iraq the whole time this drama was going on. He sent me a long one-page message over MySpace, and he told me that Sherry and G had this whole thing planned out, that G was going to get me in the sack, and he said, quote unquote, G told me that he just wanted to get laid, and just like all this stuff, and like telling me, I don't remember exactly like all the details, but basically like G was telling everybody, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. And of course at this time I'm infuriated. I didn't really talk to him. I think I kind of deleted him off of my MySpace because offhand I would have to say that he is Sherry's brother, so maybe he didn't want me and G to work. And my friends agreed as well. So I just deleted him off of my MySpace. I didn't really want, anything like that happening. And so I just didn't think that Sherry's brother was a good person to be associating with, after all of this happened. And basically what ended up happening is that G was so difficult to get along with. We'd been on and off for a year. He dumped me 3 times. He was an alcoholic and he was doing cocaine by this time. And then Sherry gets involved. I don't know her. And she was harassing me, MySpace, leaving me really, really nasty messages, and it was illegal, and it was harassment, and they just, like, absolutely drove me up the wall. I couldn't take it anymore, and I had to change my phone number. I had to give my boss and and my parents my new phone number, because of, this abuse. And yes, this is what I went through. So this is my video diary, part 3 of light worker myself being in an emotionally abusive relationship with a narcissistic alcoholic.